Hey everybody, this is TJR. It's time for a review of Medicine at Midnight by the Foo Fighters. This will be a track-by-track review. As always, if you like what I'm doing, be sure to click a like, click subscribe, and smash that bell notification icon so you can know when I release new videos. The use of female background vocals throughout Medicine at Midnight adds an instant but not overpowering change to the Foo Fighters sound. And when you hear the opening na-na-nas on Making a Fire, the album's opening track, it's instantly likable. And if I wanted to describe the Foo Fighters' 10th album, Medicine at Midnight, an album that frontman David Grohl describes as the band's midnight party album, I would say that pretty much every song is instantly likable. A lot of this has to do with the band's longtime marriage of fierce guitars and incredibly catchy pop-driven vocal hooks. But I think it also has a lot to do with the fact that the album is co-produced by Greg Kurstin, a man who has produced a lot of huge modern pop albums by the likes of Beyoncé and Adele, but is also an accomplished jazz musician and is also one half of the indie duo band, The Bird and the Bee. In fact, Anora George, who is the other half of The Bird and the Bee, is part of the background vocal chorus that includes Barbara Gruska, Laura Mace, and Violet Grohl. The album's second track, Shame Shame, is the one that I wished I had talked about more when it was released as the album's first advanced single. This is perhaps the most un-Foo Fighters sounding song, and it's the one that challenges listeners' perceptions of what this band can be. It mixes dance and progressive in ways that had me thinking, how did they think this shit up? Something I oftentimes wonder when I hear Jimmy Page's riffs. How did they think up this combination of syncopated, off-kilter guitar, drums, and vocals that separately feels like they shouldn't fit together but do? Now you'll notice I use the word perhaps when describing it as the most un-Foo Fighters-like song. And that's because that honor goes to a different track on the album. More on that in a moment. The dance rock vibe continues with the Foos filtering 80s electronic dance vibes through their guitar, bass, drums format during the verses of Cloud Spotter, only to give way to their usual muscular hard rock during the chorus. Tracks like Waiting on a War give us the more traditional Foo Fighters that we might be used to, even though the song is a tender, heartfelt song that Dave Grohl wrote in response to his 11-year-old daughter's question about the possibility of war in her lifetime. The track builds from reflective ballad to powerhouse rocker by its end. The album's title track has the band channeling 80s David Bowie during his Let's Dance phase, and this is right down to the Stevie Ray Vaughan-esque guitar solo. Throughout all of these tracks, the female backup vocals provide not only traditional background vocals as we're used to hearing them, but also musical textures that feel more the way a guitarist or keyboardist might add guitar and or keyboard textures to a song. Track 6, No Son of Mine, has the band returning to the more traditional Foo Fighters sound. This song is a balls-to-the-wall rocker, but beyond the song's fierce musical wall of guitars is the song's equally fierce lyrics that bandleader David Grohl describes as exposing the hypocrisy of self-righteous leaders that are guilty of committing the crimes they're supposedly against. Track 7, Holding Poison, also mixes the album's marriage of 80s dance rock aesthetic combined with the Foo Fighters' infectious heavier rock. And at around the 3-minute mark, it jumps into what I would describe as a somewhat Queen-inspired breakdown, with the female background vocals providing an almost operatic texture. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure that those are the female vocals that I'm listening to or just vocal samples, but either way it works. Track 8's Chasing Birds is probably one of the album's biggest surprises, however. It's a callback to cheesy 70s soft rock that also adds a bit of Stone Temple Pilots psychedelics, and it beats out Shame Shame as the most un-Foo Fighters song on the entire album. And I love it as much as Shame Shame, but for completely different reasons. Medicine at Midnight's last track, Love Dies Young, seems to be intentionally lifting the opening guitar riff to Queen's Keep Yourself Alive from the band's first album, before it jumps back into the 80s dance rock vibe that has served as a strong influence throughout the entire album. Clocking in at under 37 minutes, Medicine at Midnight doesn't overstay its welcome. It's lean, mean, all killer, and no filler. I have responded to each track positively right from the first listen up to now. It does seem at times in the current musical landscape that rock might be dead, or that the guitar is going out of style. But Medicine at Midnight definitely takes a stand at proving otherwise. I want to thank my patron supporters who are helping me make more videos. If you'd like to become a patron supporter, please go to patreon.com/TJRTheOriginal. And let me know what you think of this album after you've heard it. Please leave a comment. I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say. Everybody, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you all stay safe and healthy. Bye-bye.